What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? We're going to speed it up today. I'm going to show you what's going on. By the way, you know what? Let me just show you. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. You're not going to believe this one. All right, so when I get done right here, I'm going to get this video ready. I'm going to send it out, and then I am going to go hook up and meet Rex YZ in person. Rex is in Chicago right now, so we're gonna go check it out. We're gonna have lunch, and we're gonna talk about the future of Terra Luna Classic. If there's any information that I get that might help you guys to make an informed decision, then I will present it to you. Do your own research to figure out whether or not that's something for you or not. But I think this is for me, it's a pretty interesting day. And for those of you that don't know, Rex YZ, that's the big guy at Terraport.finance and a partner of the channel. So if you haven't, make sure if you're doing any kind of trading in the Luna Classic ecosystem, the easiest way for you to do it is Terraport.finance. You can also use TerraSwap, but Terraport.finance certainly helps me, helps Rex, helps the entire community, really. They do have 25,000 in USDC now, 25,000 more in Luna Classic. So you do have an off-ramp, which very few places have an off-ramp right now. Terraport, Garuda X is going to have an off-ramp. TerraSwap going to have an off-ramp, but again, very few DeFi places are going to allow you to just get out of your position, and this is one of them. So fantastic opportunity. So we'll see what happens, but make sure you use Terraport.finance. And we got two winners. I've sent the information to them. You're gonna get funded. So we've got two winners, but LeViking, we've got $1 million that was given away just recently, and we got $11,000 given away daily, $11,000 daily for Daily Madness. We've got 125,000 euros being given away from now until June 29. And if you're interested, you can pay Pine of Plinko 2. Did I say Pline? What is wrong with you, Bleeps? Get it. All right, anyway, let's talk about Luna Classic. And there's a discussion being held right now about rebuilding Terra Classic, a spark for dialogue, an action map, and a real strategy test. Now, the people are waking up, okay? The days of validators controlling and stopping progress on this chain are getting closer and closer to ending. We're not there yet, but it's getting closer. So Terra Classic isn't dead. It's just been in a coma. For 2 years, the community has done more than any VC-backed L1s, but let's be honest, without a map, without fuel, without a clear destination, we won't get far. This post is not a vote, it's a spark meant to ignite discussion about what's working and what's not and what might still be saved. Yeah, I'm an investor, observer, and promoter, not a coder, but I know one thing. Without communication, there is no revival. Then we talk about what has been achieved so far. Core upgrade to 3.4, USTC rebranding to Terra SDR on-chain approved, 0.5% burn tax currently active, IBC reopened, DeFi integration, market module 2.0 in discussion phase only, development not started. Remember, it will be changed. It won't just pop up. Smart reserve and repeg proposals. No code, no testnet, no technical draft. What's missing and in progress? No clear timeline for key upgrades. Sub-DAO and DAO builder rejected or abandoned. Zero communication of future forks. No visual roadmap or progress. The community sees no forward motion and no step-by-step plan for devs. So we have no, because of the lack of leadership in this space, because of the gatekeepers at the top who are preventing people from aligning together and building anything right here, there's a possibility that we miss the bull run. There really is a possibility that we do this, but there are people out here who are willing to step up and who are willing to fight. You as an investor, if you're watching this, I implore you, validate with somebody who wants progress for the future, not just an abandoned public open blockchain. And by the way, when I say abandoned, I mean there's no leadership whatsoever. There's no path forward. There's no way for all of this stuff to happen. Now, you might be able to say to yourself, well, yeah, man, but it's because it's a DAO. Every DAO except ours has some sort of leadership committee in some form. The gatekeepers that are preventing that from happening, they don't want progress on this blockchain. I'm telling you that. And if you don't believe me, go look around. Where are we now? 2.5 years later, a little over 3 years. Actually, it's 3 years now. Where are we 3 years later with them being the top validators and being in charge all of this time? Do you see it yet? Because if you don't see that from the top down, just talk about those top 5, top 6 validators, they're the ones that are going to have the most sway and the most influence, especially all nodes. They're going to have the most influence overall, and guess what? They're gatekeeping and they're preventing progress on this chain. Now, you may not like that as a fact, but if you don't like it as a fact, point to the spot on the chart, and I challenge you every single day, and I've done this before, I'm going to do it again. Point to the spot on the chart where it's working, okay? That's what I would challenge you to do, because let me tell you what's going on. The top of the range up here is 3 zeros 59, okay? We're at 4 zeros 57 right now, which means that it would be over a 10x just to get back towards our all-time high. Meanwhile, Bitcoin flirting with an all-time high. Meanwhile, VET down, but not 10x down. XRP sitting near an all-time high, Ethereum about halfway to its all-time high, Solana about halfway to its all-time high, an all-time high that it hit this year. When you look at trajectories, what are you seeing? Are you seeing the same sort of trajectory? The answer to that is absolutely not. And the reason for that, gatekeepers, preventing progress on this blockchain. So if you question me, I have no problem with that. Show me where I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Now, if you can't do that, shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about. This chain deserves better than what we're getting right now. So back to the story. Proposal 4.85%. There's a few different things in here. I'm going to leave this to you to go look for it. The way forward, for me, the way forward is very, very simple. We need a market module. We need a customized market module that doesn't mint new tokens, that only does a burn between the two. And remember, we've got Redline Drifter who's out here. I don't know what his program is or what his plan is, but part of it includes creating a new pegged stable coin of some sort that will then work in a synergistic sort of way, maybe enhancing the burns of Luna Classic and USTC along the way. That is at least what it is in theory, and he's pretty excited about what he saw during his meeting with some attorneys about it, so perhaps it's going to be something really cool, but we don't know yet. All I'm doing at this point would be speculating. Meme coins, we got Terra up a little bit today, Juris up 4% today. So little movement, but nothing major. And by the way, the market is not moving gigantically, so there would be no reason for that move. BLV Labs spending proposal look like it's going to pass. It seems like it. I don't see, there's nobody really knowing it or anything like that. So, you know, we got no with veto, no abstain. You know, we got a few, look, it's 99.89. So we've got a few people out there, outliers with small wallets like myself, voting either no or abstaining over here. So, you know, no big deal. Now, let's talk price action. Again, I pointed out you can't show me on this chart where anything that these validators have done so far that are quote unquote building on the chain are doing anything. Meanwhile, the number one token on Terra Pump right now is Believe. So if you're not a part of Believe, by the way, look, the idea here is you want to make money, right? Well, the easiest way to make money is for price go up, right? I launched this at 1 cent, at 1 penny is where I launched it. And today it's sitting at 8.9 cents. So what does that mean for you? Well, that actually means that you have made a tremendous profit. Now, you can see here, there's a few sell-offs that have been happening over the last couple of days, but generally speaking, we are in a great scenario right here, 8.9 cents. So that means you're up basically 8x from where you were in the beginning. Does that motivate you? Does that make you say, oh, damn, that's awesome? Well, it should, because that is a big move. Now, the idea here is we want to get this thing unbonded. We get it unbonded and, you know, we put it out in the wild. Will it do anything? I'm not supporting it. This is a free, you guys do whatever you want with it. But if you don't have a bag of Believe, you're going to miss out. Okay, you're going to miss out, because we're at 27% completion right now. We're the number one meme token right here on this space. Now, remember, J Money, which is now at 45 cents, Blame, which is at 41, and Rakoff, which is at 27 cents, they are also in that realm. So, guys, this is your opportunity. And by the way, I'm not building anything. I'm not making TerraPump.fun is just kind of a one-off sort of thing here, okay? I'm not building giant stuff in this ecosystem. I'm just having fun. And the way you have fun, meme coins. This meme coin, by the way, a Believe meme coin, that's not going anywhere. You know, maybe I get 10 times the amount of subscribers that I currently have. 250,000 people engaging with Believe's crypto at some point. Does that move the chart? But it'll probably move the chart just a little bit. But at the end of the day, this is not something that I'm doing a whole lot with. But you guys could take it to $1 billion for all I care. You know what I mean? And it would be easy. All you have to do, have a little faith. But remember here, current price, 9 cents, initial price, 1 cent. You fumbled your bag again if you didn't buy any. That's your fault. Now, let's move on. So we're meandering here down at the bottom. I'm not worried about it. I want to see more. I'm not worried about it ultimately because M2 money supply continuing to explode. We're continuing to see massive movement to the upside. We saw this downward spike here. Then we saw the reversal, but the reversal didn't really catch on with Luna Classic. Now, the reason that it didn't is because everybody's looking for, look, there's babies out here that just can't hold, they can't hold a bag. It's they call themselves traders, but really they're just brokies. So these brokies are being brokies. Now, what do we need in order to get positive? Well, we need that purple line right there that's going down right there. That's bearish. That's bearish momentum. And what that means is the 200 MA is going downwards. That's not a great sign. When it's going upwards, that's when we get the pumps. That's when we get the big moves, right? So what we need is we got to flip the script, which means that we need at least, and this is going to be more than that 7, by the way, that I gave you the other day where I said, we get 7 will be okay. It needs to be more than that. We need a breakout and get up into, the 3 zeros sort of 1-1 range, somewhere around there. I've removed all of the previous stuff other than that little arrow pointing upwards. But there is a huge amount of liquidity still coming into this market, which means that we are going to have a significant pump. Now, every time we get a little bit going, then the market dumps. And of course, the money comes out of altcoins. And as it bleeds for us every single time. But we're going to get back to the positive. It's coming. It's coming. But again, like I told you before, we're at least a tier 3 coin at this point because you have your Bitcoin, you have your tops, they run on their own volition. Then you have the rest of like the top 100. Those are the tier 2s. They're not exactly blue chip, but they are pretty good. And then you have, page 101 to 200, and that's where Luna Classic currently falls in. And, to be fair, we need a narrative change. Okay, that's what we were just talking about. We need a narrative change. So you tell me, what narrative do we need to change? I think it's going to be burns. I think it's going to be market module. I think it's very, very simple here. But again, your gatekeepers are keeping the gates and they're preventing the progress. So maybe we can stop them from being babies and have them grow up and be like a peanut tree and show some nuts. Boom, boom. So anyway, USTC, same thing. Again, it's going up, but it's just not going up. There's no breakout. We need to see a strong breakout. We need to see a strong narrative develop. We see that, things are going to change dramatically. But until then, we're not going to see it. Now, we are getting a little over halfway through the month, so we're about 2 weeks away from the next burn. The next burn's not going to be significant. It's going to be, kind of tiny. We're going to get to the burn in just 1 second here, but you can see we're down in volume, up a little bit in market cap, down in volume, up a little bit in market cap. So really, but so the burns ended up being 383 million, which is still not significant. It's not gigantic, but it's 193 million. You might be asking yourself, what is going on? Well, after that other grog G2 OG, whatever it was that pumped yesterday, we got this one right here, RTP7. Now I went to Lunk Dash. Shout out to Happy Caddy Crypto for having a place like this for us to be able to go check. I'm not friends with Happy Caddy Crypto, don't like Happy Caddy Crypto, but I appreciate the fact that he puts in the work. And I'm going down here into the 250, the top 250 wallets down to 833 million. So whatever got burned was significant. I went through here, RTP7. There is no wallet here. So this is a smaller wallet that burned quite a bit yesterday. And when you look at it from this context, you got, this is just in the last couple, this is just a short period of time here. The GD0G is that one that we were talking about there. But then you also have this 3S8Z. There's just a little, there's movement around, and just seems to be that there's a significant amount of burns coming out of nowhere. Now, it didn't apply to today so far. We're only 17 million burns, but yesterday we got 3 significant wallets making some moves. I don't know what that means. Could mean something good. Could just be people moving stuff around in their wallets. I don't really know, but we'll find out pretty soon. I assume we're going to find out pretty soon. Anyway, here we go. Almost 200 million Lunk burn today. Fun fact, did you know that all of these large burns come from the same wallet? Take a look, Education Matters. Now, it didn't come exactly from the same wallet, but it came from, maybe they were moved around from wallet to wallet. So I don't know what the deal is, and look, not my lane, I don't give a shit, but there were significant amount of burns. So maybe, just maybe, this is the start of something with an exchange or something like that. Anyway, significant burns happening, good sign to see. So that's it. I'm going to go meet with Rex. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to talk about the future of Terra Luna Classic. If you're interested in the future of Terra Luna Classic, we're going to give you some updates over the next couple of days about what is going on. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this with as many people as possible. And if you believe that Luna Classic is about to have a parabolic and a big run, then make sure that you are sharing that with every single person that you possibly can. The more people who are aware of Terra Luna Classic, the more people can look in and do their own research, the more people can figure out what is going on in the chain, what happened in the chain, does it affect the future of the chain? And hey, by the way, don't forget there is an outside possibility, not real, but outside possibility that Do Kwon, look, you never know what's going to happen, okay? You never know what's going to happen next. But I have a feeling that maybe we're going to be real surprised about what happens with Do Kwon very, very soon. That's not financial advice, but I'm always right.